Welcome to another edition of Rogues Gallery, where we rank the best supervillains based on your votes. This week, we're looking at the mystical foes of Dr. Stephen Strange. Dr. Strange's enemies range from fellow sorcerers trying to prove their superiority, all the way to the most evil demons imaginable. Just missing out on the top 10 this week are Lilith, Chthon, and the Dweller in Darkness. Let's start the countdown. Number 10, Zom. Zom is an extra-dimensional monster that even the fiercest of Doctor Strange's foes fear, and in its first appearance, it took the Living Tribunal to stop the threat. When the Hulk attacked Manhattan in search of vengeance against the Illuminati, Doctor Strange summoned Zom to wield power capable of stopping the Jade Giant, but Hulk's anger was too great and it was defeated in battle. Number 9, Blackheart. Blackheart was created from the latent murder energy of Christ Crown, New York to be like a son to the demon Mephisto. Although he started out as a daredevil villain, his demonic nature brought him into conflict with Doctor Strange on several occasions. Number 8, the Empirical. As a child, the Imperator's parents were found guilty of practicing science and died to save their son from the mystical cult-based society. Believing magic to be the cause of all problems in the universe, he founded the Empirical, an army which travels from dimension to dimension, eradicating any trace of magic they find. Number 7, Umar. Umar and her brother Dormammu were created as children of a race of formless, mystical beings, but were cast out for their desire for physical bodies. Trapped in the dark dimension after falling out with her brother, Dormammu's defeat led to Umar being freed, and ultimately, it took the summoning of Zom to defeat her. Number 6, Parker Robbins, better known as the Hood. Parker Robbins was a small-time crook who got lucky and killed a demon which attacked him. Stealing its cloak and boots, he found that they granted him limited powers. He was able to transition into a kingpin-like role by uniting New York's supervillains under him. At the behest of the source of his power, Dormammu, the Hood sought to find and kill Doctor Strange so that he could be the new Sorcerer Supreme, but was unsuccessful and lost access to his magical powers. Number 5, Mephisto. Mephisto is an extra-dimensional demon that rules in hell, and is the closest Marvel equivalent to that of the Christian concept of Satan. A trickster at heart, Mephisto delights in making deals with people that have unforeseen consequences and loopholes. That is, when he's not at war with the other lords of hell. Number 4, Nightmare. Nightmare is the evil lord of the Nightmare realm in the dream dimension who constantly strives to access the physical plane via people's dreams. He is one of many fear lords who regularly convene and plot to take over the Earth, but are regularly held at bay by the likes of Doctor Strange. Number 3, Shuma-Gorath. Shuma-Gorath is a primordial evil and one of the old ones who ruled over the Earth in its earliest days, but was banished by the time-traveling sorcerer Neg. Shuma-Gorath returned during the Hyborian era and was held at bay by the great warrior Conan the Cimmerian. The monster attempted to return in the modern era via the mind of Doctor Strange's mentor, the Ancient One, and Strange was forced to kill him in order to save the world from the coming of Shuma-Gorath. It later found its way into the Earth realm and was only defeated when Doctor Strange merged with the Beast and killed it by impaling itself on its own tentacles. Shuma-Gorath always finds its way back to Earth, and most recently it was summoned by Doctor Strange, who was being controlled by the Ebony Maw. It took the combined might of the newly assembled Mighty Avengers to defeat it, when Power Man summoned all of New York's chi and funneled it through the White Tiger's Tiger God. Number 2, Baron Mordo. Karl Mordo was raised as Romanian nobility, and after developing an interest in the occult from his grandfather, he sought out the Ancient One in Tibet. The Ancient One sensed that Mordo's lust for power was dangerous, but surmised it safer to keep an eye on him rather than have him learn from someone less scrupulous. When Stephen Strange arrived to study under the Ancient One, Mordo became jealous and began plotting to overthrow their mentor. His plot was uncovered by Strange, and Mordo left to continue his studies elsewhere. He became a fierce rival to Doctor Strange and attempted to assassinate the Ancient One remotely, but was stopped by Strange. After clashing with Strange on countless occasions, he discovered he had cancer and sought out any mystical means to cure himself. When all attempts failed, he instead sought redemption and forgiveness by returning to Tibet. After receiving absolution, he died peacefully. He returned to life due to a time-traveling adventure, but with his cancer still active, and attempted to cure it using the abilities of Monet St. Croix. At some unknown point, he attempted to steal Thor's enchanted axe, Jarnbjorn, and was instead killed with it, left to rest with the axe still in his skull, where it was found by Kang the Conqueror. And number 1, Dormammu. The dread Dormammu is brother to Umar, and after killing their father and being banished from their race, they settled in the Dark Dimension. They were taken in by its king, who sought to access other dimensions, but this led to an invasion by the Mindless Ones. Though the king was killed in the invasion, Dormammu and Umar stopped the threat and were crowned regents of the dimension. After exiling his sister, Dormammu set his sights on Earth, and his meddling in mortal affairs led to the Great Fire of London, the Salem witch trials, and the murder spree of Jack the Ripper. He took in Baron Mordo as an Ancient of the Earth Realm, which later led him into a renewed conflict with the Ancient One and his first battle with Doctor Strange. Strange proved more powerful than Dormammu anticipated, and the amount of power he had to draw to use against Strange saw his control on the Mindless Ones weaken, forcing Dormammu to retreat and re-establish a hold on them. Forced to rely on Doctor Strange for help, Dormammu became indebted to the Sorcerer Supreme, something which made his hatred of him even stronger. Dormammu has been Doctor Strange's fiercest foe, whether solo or as a villain to the Defenders. Most recently, he attempted to conquer the realm of Limbo, but was driven back and killed by magic of the X-Men. That's your list for this week. Make sure to check out ComicsAlliance.com for your chance to vote in the current poll.